free pile, side of the road. Hey guys, and welcome back. Did a little yard sale today. Today's Saturday the 23rd, September 23rd, I believe. A couple of our towns had local town-wide yard sales, and so I went puttered around, and I do my best not to bring home junk, but sometimes I do. Anyways, we'll do a little looky-loo with some of the pieces that we got and goodies. Do a quick little cast over it, and we'll do a slow ride. Alright, so the first kind of things, we'll start from left to right. I grabbed a tow chain. I seem to be having a fetish with a chain all of a sudden. Grabbing them at yard sales. There was some last week I grabbed also. They were hanging outside from New Jersey. But I grabbed this chain and this right angle drill, which I believe is for doing like electric between studs. You know, so you got 16 on center in the studs. You can kind of get in there with a drill bit and drill to run your wires. The only problem with that is it's got a chunk missing out of one of the teeth on the chuck. I think it'll still hold a bit, but that is broke. And I may actually have another chuck for it. I gotta go look and see. I actually might have a replacement for that, so we'll get on that. They were he was trying to get, I think, 20 bucks for the pair. And then I pointed out the broken chuck, and I offered him 10 for the pair. He said fine. So that's where these came from. Then I grabbed this electric shear, and it is good. I believe it's an 18 gauge. It's Milwaukee. Yeah, 18 gauge right there. So I grabbed that for sheet metal work. It looks like the blade is decent, and it doesn't actually look like it has had all that much use to it. That was 15. Set of propane tanks. They were $5 for the set of 4, so I grabbed them because I used them either at the cabin or just using the hand torches around here. Another item we got going, this is the first piece that I picked up, was this Fender Amp. I don't know much about amps, but it looked cool and the price is right. They're asking 30, I offered 20, they said how about 25, so I grabbed it for 25. We'll plug some stuff in a minute, but I figure we'll go around and show first. But the only thing I do notice is that the wires for the speaker, see if I don't smash it on the floor, the wires for the speaker are not mounted to the little stud, so we may have to do some doctoring on that. But it's made in USA. I peeled the label back, they had a sticker over it. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't some kind of piece of junk. And again, I don't know much about amps, but they said it worked. Get rid of that. So again, made in USA. So I would not think it's a piece of crap, but who knows? Could be. This was in there too. I don't know if it's how that operates, but I figure I'm going to plug it in. If it makes a weird high pitched sound, if it does anything, I guess it would figure it does work, and I'll try to just put it on Craigslist probably. Listen, one of you local guys who have an interest in it, sure has a combination of setups for it. Either that or be a subwoofer from my VW. Moving on, set of cushions, set of life preservers, still in the package. For $5 I grabbed those because the ones on the pontoon boat have had, the mice have had their way with it. You wouldn't think mice would be out on the water on a boat, but they get in there. So they're pretty beat up. I was looking at them the other day when I took them out from underneath the thing, saying I need a new set of those, and lo and behold, a new set. Then a guy was, I guess he was a wood floor installer. He had 2 of these tabletop, or what do you call them, with a portable table saw, and Milwaukee, no, Hitachi, I forget. There we go, Hitachi table saw. So I think he was asking 25 a piece for them. I go, you sell one for 20? He's like, yeah, sure. So I haven't plugged it in yet. He said everything works fine. Just that he sold his business and doesn't use it anymore. I have a Delta table saw, but I like this one with the wheels and everything on it, and then its own stand that kind of flips up. Takes up a lot less room when you're not using it, and it's easy to move it around, kind of like a piece of luggage for a I could go and I can carry it through the airport. So that looks pretty cool. Free Pile was a Craftsman Mower with a Briggs on it. I don't know anything about it. I have a feeling that part of it is not pulling the brake off, and I have a feeling that's probably why it just doesn't start anymore. Probably got so sloppy where it just does not have spark because that's not pulling far enough. But the gas doesn't smell bad, and the bottom of the mower deck looks like it was trash everything. Bottom of the mower deck looks like it was used on that long ago. Not like it's all old and cruddy looking underneath. So, price is right on that. And there's this thing. Kind of the coolest piece of the whole deal is this dictaphone, and I think you were meant to like talk on a speaker. It would record it, and then it could also play back. I don't know if you wind it up. I don't know if it's got a motor in it. I don't know what it's got. It's on wheels. It's kind of cool looking. And then it has this thing. Now I don't know if that's a foot pedal or a speaker, or I just don't know what this thing does. I don't know if it powers it, I don't know if it turns it on and off, but it just looks like a vacuum hose on it. And I believe that was plugged into there. So it's gonna focus. I just thought it had a really kind of cool look to it. And what I was figuring for in the house, I think it would make a really cool wine rack. Just leave it the way it is for its aesthetics, and hopefully if bottles of wine will fit in there. I know it's going to be close between there, but we'll see how that goes. And then possibly just turn that thing into a wine rack. Plus I can kind of fudge it a little bit, but I thought it had a really neat look to it. So once you give me a minute, we're going to power cord out and we'll just kind of power some stuff up and see what it does. I haven't run any of this stuff. But I forgot one piece. This is from last week, this one. I went to Flanders, New Jersey for a big VW show, and I met a bunch of you guys there, for about 30. I came over and said hi, and it was pretty cool to meet all you guys. But while I was down there, that's where the end of the last video had the VW drag races, push drag races. That was where that video came from. But anyway, this was at one of the yard sales down there, and it, you can see the front of it, is a rebar cutter and a bender, and that should definitely smush your fingers off. And then it's got the bender right there, and that configuration for bending rebar to different kinds of capacity. You got to bolt it down, and that's probably got about a 4-foot handle on it. I don't know if it's got a name brand on it or not. Says maybe upside down. All I see is the letter T and then Japan. So, and that was 20 bucks. So that was I think a good score. That's probably about $200 worth of metal manipulation right there alone. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but the price was right. I do some scrap art and whatnot with rebar, so it may be just kept and stack in a garage when I don't need it, and when you do, clamp it down to a bench and we can use it for some metal bending. That was also I was in New Jersey, and a friend of mine, Mike, I don't know if the guys who remember back in the videos, Mike's the guy that had the articulating tractor he made himself, and the Ford pickup, like the 80s Ford pickup with the 4-cylinder diesel put into it. And he went shopping with me, and he said that he never finds anything at yard sales, and he doesn't bother. He just kind of goes around. He says, oh, my yard sales suck around here. Well, Mike spent I think $1,160 that day. So I guess I may have converted him, but he ended up buying actually an enclosed trailer for $1,000, but then grabbed some a gas powered compressor and some other things too. So he was psyched to locate some stuff. So it's not just around here. You can find it at any yard sale. Problem is, you have to go to 30 yard sales to get the halfway decent one. You know, you only need 1 or 2 good yard sales to make it worth your while, but you have to go through a bunch of baby clothes and doilies before you find them. All right, now I got the power over here. Let me put you in the stand. Let's go plug some stuff in. Alright, what do you say we start these two guys? You can find a piece of scrap metal. That's aluminum. It says it's good for 18 gauge. I want to say that's probably 18 gauge. Let's see if it'll rip up the center of that, right into the center of my hand. I'd say that one's a win. Let's go try the drill. Cord looks a little punky on this. Let's see. If this says something in a different language, I don't know if this is probably just forward and reverse. Bet you that play havoc on your wrist if you jam it up, right? We're gonna go for next the table saw. As I said again, I think I have the other one's a Delta I have in the other garage, and if this one proves to be better, I'll probably sell the Delta. Keep this one just for its portability. Figure out where to turn her on. You guys come with me. Go see if we can figure out where. Okay, that should be great. Get that out of our way. Looks like we're missing a screw right there. That ought to be good for bouncing into the guard. Let's fire her up though. That looks decent. Just got a screw loose, like its owner. So we'll flip that up on the stand, make sure the stand and everything kind of works, but I wouldn't suspect anything that's an issue. What we go for next? The amp. Let me go set you back up in the stand. Let's go plug that in. Smoke comes pouring out of it. Let's see if it... Alright, you impressed? You guys want to come over with your electric guitar and plug in? You can go and fire it up. That's about all we're gonna... I hear hissing. Just do like they do in the... I think it'd probably be fine, but without plugging anything into it, who knows? So, anybody knows anything about this, feel free to jump in the comments and say that's a such and such, or that's a piece of junk, or that's decent, or that's 1970 or 1960 or whatever it is. So, again, that's what it's got. Got a part number anywhere, model number. I think that's it, guys. I think we did show and tell. The mower, we'll probably go play with at another date, but just want to do a little findy of what we have. See, the thing has a little bit of a piano hinge across the back, so this must flip open. It's got a screw holding it. What do you say? We go find out what's on the inside. All kinds of stuff. A little electric motor in there. Looks like it's got a governor kind of built into it. I see these flyweights over here. I wonder if that adjusts the speed that it spins. I'm not quite sure what they would be for. What do you think? Look at that. See a set of contacts there, whatever that is. That's probably speed right there. Yeah, whatever that is. I bet you that's a governor right there. And we just figure out where you're supposed to attach power to this thing, or does it have a cord and we're not seeing it? Or is that supposed to be the cord? I don't know. So where that, I thought that hose kind of went into, I took that cap off of there, and it has a location for 2 wires to go onto that. So I'm not quite sure what that is and what that's for. Maybe it's a start-stop switch. Just don't know. But I know it doesn't make power, so I figure what we're going to go do is, I got a crappy old extension cord here. I say we cut that end off of it, we wire it to that, and see if we can let the smoke out. Alright, we got a power hooked up to it. We got the cord hooked up to it. Spin that around. And it's got an on-off switch there. It's got a stop and start for the cylinder. A little gummy there. Hopefully it's AC. I don't see anywhere on it where it's calling out what it is. I see a 250 volt 1 amp 250 volt written on that switch. Whether that does anything or not, I don't know. I say we just go plug her in. Worst case, it just turns into a wine rack, right? And ready for poof? No poof. Nothing like touching something metal. That how about we turn it on and then we plug it in. There she goes. And the belt was sitting inside of it, but it was broke. It had this little leather belt that looks like it ran it to spin. I don't know if this is going to do anything for us. That's a little tensioner. I do see a switcher there that says DC, what it's on now, and it looks like it says AC. Does that move? Does this move? Oh, now you did it. Now you wrecked it. What does that do? Oh, there's just access to the brushes. Just wrecking it. That, but yeah, it says looks like it says DC, and I think that says, you guys can probably read it better than I do. Like a couple different ways you can kind of switch it. Did that governor move at all? Go set you back up. Let's go plug her back in again. See what if they can make that those flyweights on that governor move, or if it moves at all on its own. Yeah, it does. It did kick out a little. What was that connected to? This guy. That's the speed control. Well, that's pretty cool. Faster. Huh. And I guess without a belt, not much is going to be happening, because I think this needs to be turning for whatever this does. I bet you that's for putting this into gear. start cylinder. Let's push that. Yeah. And see if we spin it by hand. Yeah, that's what it does. So that drives that going across. Too bad I don't have one of those wax drums, huh? Yeah. How's that guy? And I think I see where that hose goes. So that is where this should plug in, it looks like. And I don't know, I wouldn't call that a speaker though, would you? Trying to read what that says. Patent applied for is what it says. I don't know. I see the hose coming off of here. I don't know if that would have had a, you know, like the old Victrola looking cones that go off the top of it. I just don't know. But again, this came with it. This might not even have anything to do with it at all, too. But don't know. I do know it'll hold wine bottles. What do you say we try putting a rubber band on it? A rubber band that's ready to break. I don't know which way you're supposed to go around that stuff. I say we flip that out. And that down there. We let it run like that. What do you think? You think it'll go? Find out. Is it in gear? Which way's fast? That's off. That's fast. And yeah, the bottom one's turning. So I don't know. Again, it's got the little needle in there. Just flip up. I figure that would flip up somehow, right? That's probably for moving it. Yeah. Pretty cool little machine. If we gotta go look it up online though, huh? Figure out what slowing down. I think my rubber band's getting ready to rock. A little bit of maintenance. Mousetrap, boy, that was close. Just skim the tip. Remember to flip your kickstand out. So. Different. That's all I gotta say. Alright guys, with that, I think I'm going to go sign off. I want to thank all you guys for kind of hanging out in the garage with me and just kind of going over this stuff. So until the next one, which is already made, we'll see you then.
Elizabeth, New Jersey, 1970 VW. I don't know if George left here. There he is. Even I know what they are. That red rod is awesome.
That's some engineering, huh?
Sure is.
All right, we're going to go through the Bajas. There's some pretty nice Bajas down there. Third place goes to Russ Carraro from Florham Park, New Jersey with a 70 Baja. You hear, Russ? Sorry, man.
All right.
Second place is going to go to Tom Riggs from Hillsborough, New Jersey, 74 Baja.